Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we are diving right into something utterly fascinating. We're going to take a completely bizarre, highly specific internet transcript and actually treat it as a serious anthropological case study. We are looking at hyper-niche, user-generated meme culture. Specifically, we're decoding a piece of internet lore known as a grounded video script. The one we're focusing on today is a truly wild December 2nd birthday narrative that centers around a very popular children's cartoon character. If you have ever wondered exactly how innocent media can get twisted into these incredibly complex, rule-bound internet mythologies by creative users, well, you are definitely in the right place. So let's just dive right into this.
All right, here's how we're breaking things down for today's explainer. First, we'll establish the grounded video phenomenon itself. Then, we'll look at the inciting incident, a birthday bait and switch. Third, we'll examine the totally absurd list of crimes. Fourth, we'll walk through the 20 punishment stages. And finally, we will unpack the bizarre crossover finale.
Okay, kicking things off with Section 1, the grounded video phenomenon. Let's set the stage with this specific December 2nd birthday transcript. So, the absolutely crucial thing to understand before we really get into the weeds here is the rulebook of this specific universe. In the text, a parent actually notes that a previous attack by the main character killed them, but, and I quote, "Go animate logic revived me." This right here is a foundational piece of internet lore for this entire genre. Go animate logic is this wild in-universe rule that allows characters to endure lethal damage, get violently dispatched, and then just miraculously pop back to life. And why? Well, solely so that their narrative can just keep going indefinitely. In this case, an endless, brutal cycle of extreme consequences. Without this specific rule, the whole story would literally just end around punishment number 8. Moving right along to Section 2, a birthday bait and switch. Let's dig into the inciting incident, which all happens on the morning of our main character's 5th birthday. You really have to notice the stark contrast playing out here. In the text, the character wakes up, takes a shower, and bounds downstairs with these incredibly innocent, totally normal expectations. He's thinking special breakfast, presents, and a real birthday cake, right? But the reality? It is a massive, coordinated ambush by his parents, his grandmother, and even his school faculty. They all jump out, yell surprise, and then immediately smash a fake mud cake that they built just to trick him. They straight up declare that it is not a birthday at all. Nope, it is his punishment day. It's just a complete, total inversion of a classic childhood milestone. And before any of the physical punishments even begin, his family absolutely insists that he open his presents. Presents which, by the way, have been carefully curated to be things they know he absolutely hates. The inventory here is just so specific and bizarre. He has given Thomas and Friends DVDs, which he specifically states he hates because he thinks talking trains look creepy. He gets a bunch of related train track merchandise too. But the specificity goes even further. They give him a very particular slate of Wii U games, like Mario Party 9 and Paper Mario Color Splash, games he apparently completely despises. And while this is happening, they gleefully inform him that all of his actual toys, consoles, and DVDs are being packed up and donated to charity. I mean, it is literal psychological warfare before the real events even kick off. All right, Section 3, an absurd list of crimes. Why exactly is he being punished? Let's take a look at what a 5-year-old could possibly have done to trigger all of this. This brilliantly illustrates the totally surreal nature of this narrative. The accusations completely split into 2 jarringly different categories. It gives you absolute whiplash. On one side, you've got severe but somewhat grounded schoolyard bad behavior, right? Things like smoking in the girls' room, using racial slurs against classmates, ripping up a teddy bear. But then, delivered in the exact same deadpan, monotonous tone by his family, we have literal acts of domestic terrorism. The text accuses this 5-year-old of murdering the Easter Bunny, shooting up the PBS Kids headquarters because a show got canceled, firing missiles at the police station, and using a flying castle to bomb his school. The juxtaposition is wild, but in this universe, it's just treated as standard everyday backstory.
Okay, Section 4, the 20 stages of punishment. This is the absolute core of the transcript. It is a grueling, stage-by-stage descent into internet madness.
Just watch how rapidly the logic and safety in this script completely disintegrate as these punishments escalate. We start off with bizarre humiliations. For example, his 5th punishment is having his shirt magically turned pink, which his father then records and posts on social media just to embarrass him. Standard internet bully stuff. But then it supercharges into impossible academic torture, like a massive math quiz. From there, it spirals into extreme property damage, where he is forced to literally burn down a restaurant. And finally, it climaxes with lethal force, ending with him being shot out of a cannon.
It goes from social embarrassment to physical annihilation in no time flat. I really want to pause on this number for a second because it just perfectly captures the dreamlike absurdity of this whole text. His fourth punishment is homework. Okay, sounds normal, but it's not just a couple of worksheets. It is a 20,000-page homework assignment. And his teacher, Mrs. Martin, casually informs him that it is due in exactly 1 hour. That's right, 1 hour. The sheer impossibility of the task is exactly the point. When he inevitably passes out from total exhaustion without answering a single question, he receives an automatic F-, which instantly triggers the very next punishment. Let's look at another academic punishment. This is punishment number 13, and it brilliantly breaks down the twisted, rigged logic of this universe. So Mrs. Martin forces him to take a personality math quiz. Step 1 is basic enough, 10 plus 10 in 30 seconds. He gets it right. Step 2 gets a lot harder, 20 times 47 in 30 seconds. He just guesses and somehow gets it right, but step 3, that's where the rig is revealed. The question is entirely subjective. It asks, how does Mrs. Martin act up when she sees that Caillou failed his test? He answers, angry. The system completely rejects it, claiming the correct answer is furious. He protests, saying they mean the exact same thing, but it doesn't matter. Because he got one wrong, he fails the whole thing. And the quiz instantly delivers a terrifying, ear-exploding jump scare where the teacher's eyeballs disappear. It is intentionally rigged from the start, just to inflict psychological damage. As we get into the late-stage punishments, you'll notice how they systematically target and destroy literally everything he loves, leaving him completely isolated. For punishment 14, they take him to his absolute favorite place in the world, Chuck E. Cheese. But they refuse to let him play. Instead, they hand him an M16 and force him to shoot the mascot. Punishment 15, they make him burn the whole restaurant to the ground. By the time we hit punishment 17, the parents are using tracking bullets to locate and eliminate his only remaining friends, Dora and Little Bill, who were just minding their own business in completely separate locations. And the parents explicitly state they are doing this simply because he doesn't, quote, deserve friends anyway.
And finally, Section 5, the bizarre crossover finale. We are heading straight into the Biola Kingdom, folks, where this narrative abandons any remaining shred of logic and jumps headfirst into cross-universe internet lore.
Let's see exactly how this whole thing builds to its wild climax. For the 20th and final punishment, after already being assaulted with a chainsaw and having his hand shoved into a blender, his father lights the fuse on a giant cannon. He is blasted completely out of GoAnimate City and crash lands in a strange place called the Biola Kingdom. So what actually happens when you crash land in a completely different internet mythology? Well, you are immediately confronted by the locals, of course. In the Biola Kingdom, he is intercepted by a character named Prince Dream, who instantly recognizes him as a troublemaker from Go City. Prince Dream declares that they absolutely do not tolerate people like him on their island, and just zaps him with a Zephyr Wake beam. He is thrown off the island and lands smack in the middle of the ocean. And it's right here that we get his final, chaotic moments. He sees a fin in the water. He realizes there is absolutely nothing left he can do, and as a shark approaches to eat him, he just simply utters, "Holy crap, it's a shark, and it's about to eat me. Goodbye, cruel world. This has been the worst birthday ever." What we've just decoded today isn't just some random assortment of words slapped together. It is a massive testament to how user-generated tools can subvert totally innocent childhood media into these incredibly dark, complex, and strictly rule-bound internet mythologies. It's such a fascinating look at digital storytelling, where the creators make up their own completely unhinged rules and then relentlessly enforce them. It really leaves you wondering, if this level of meticulous, chaotic lore can be generated around a simple 5-year-old cartoon character, what other bizarre, hyper-niche mythologies are quietly being built out there on the internet right now? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and definitely keep your eyes open out there.